What's up, y'all? My name is Kenyatta. Today's video is all about credit cards, rewards, points, perks, that kind of thing. I've been personally using credit cards to earn rewards for a while now. I've used it to buy things like a brand new TV. I've used it to buy furniture, things like that. I've also used it to invest money into the stock market. So yeah, credit cards have the potential to earn you real cash that you can do whatever you please with. Credit cards often get a bad rep, and that's really because people don't know how to use them. So once you figure out the proper way to actually utilize these cards, your opinion of them will probably turn from negative to positive. What I personally love about credit card rewards is that it's literally free money. You can essentially get paid to live your life and make the purchases you were gonna make anyway. The rewards can add up really quickly, and in some cases they come in a lump sum of tax-free money. So before I get into how all of it works, I wanna put a disclaimer out there. This strategy of trying to earn credit card rewards may not be for everybody at this time. If you have a bunch of credit card debt, then this may not be for you. It's not to say that you can't do these strategies while paying off debt, but you should at least have a plan in mind and be active about paying off that debt before you worry about the rewards. This also is not for people who lack discipline when it comes to credit cards. We all have our vices, I get it, and that's okay. But if your vice is impulse spending or buying things on credit that you don't need and can't afford, then you should probably work on those issues and unlearning that behavior before you focus on getting new cards to reap the rewards. I'll touch on some of that in future videos to give some tips and tricks on how to get yourself out of that situation. But for now, as far as rewards are concerned, you might want to, shift your focus to figuring out that debt. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump in. So I'm gonna explain how the whole points things works, and then I'm gonna give some specific examples with some cards that I actually use. So we all know credit card companies want to lure people in to use their cards because they make money at the end of the day. To give you a little perspective, Visa brought in over $21 billion in revenue in 2020. So they're a pretty big company, they're making a lot of money. Companies like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, they want you to use their card because they're secretly hoping that you are one of the many people that use their cards, run up a balance, and then pay monthly interest on that balance. The average American has about $6,000 in credit card debt, and with the average credit card interest rate being about 16%, these companies stand to make a lot of money off of people who hold a balance and then pay these super high interest rates. Okay, so it's clear that these companies want you around so that they can make a profit. And one of the ways they try to encourage you to pick their card over their competitors is through these enticing rewards. There are a million different cards out there that offer different perks for different things. Some that don't offer any points at all, some that are good for travel, dining, or other niche things. So the first tip I can give you all is to pick a credit card that does not have an annual fee, and then also to pick a card that suits your lifestyle, suits the things that you like. So if you're the kind of person who's afraid to fly, you probably shouldn't get a Sky Miles rewards card. If you're the kind of person who likes eating out, then you should get a card that offers good perks for dining and things like that. The next tip is to purchase everything on your rewards card. I haven't used a debit card to make a purchase in years. I use my credit cards to buy groceries, to eat out, to online shop, to pay my utility bills. Anything you can think of where I have to spend money, if paying with a credit card is an option, 99% of the time, I'm gonna take that option. There's one exception to this rule, which is buying gas. And I know this is kind of a regional thing because I've traveled to different cities in the country and they don't all do it this way. But in the Detroit area, it costs about 10 cents more per gallon to pay with a card. So in those cases, I use cash. Another exception is that every now and again, I'll find myself at like some small food joint that only takes cash. That's rare, but it does happen from time to time. So that's another time when I would not use a credit card. Okay, so the next tip, and this is the most critical, is to pay your balance off in full every single month. Never, ever, ever, ever carry a credit card balance. If you don't carry a balance, then that means you don't pay any interest. And as I mentioned before, if you pick a card that did not have an annual fee and you're not paying any interest, then you're just earning free money. You don't pay anything to have the card. You don't pay anything to have the account open. You make your regular purchases. You buy groceries. You buy clothes for your kids. You do whatever it is you need to do. You pay for your Netflix. And then the credit card companies will pay you back in rewards. So I have personally earned tons of money by following these tips to earn credit card rewards points. Plus, a really good bonus is that if you regularly use your credit card and pay it off in full on time every month, it will have a positive impact on your credit score. Okay, so we're gonna get into actually how these points work. There are two main types of rewards that credit card companies offer. The first one is sign-up bonuses, and the second being points you earn on purchases over time. We're gonna start with sign-up bonuses. So sometimes the sign-up bonus comes in the form of 0% interest on your card balance for some extended period of time, or maybe on balance transfers and things like that. And those things are actually really cool too in specific situations, and I can go into that in another video, but that's not really the focus here. Sometimes the sign-up bonuses comes in the form of points, and that's really where we're getting at. Companies typically offer something like X amount of points for spending X amount of dollars in X amount of time. So when you see offers like this, you need to ask yourself, how much money do I typically spend in a month? Because that will help you determine whether or not you'd be able to meet this minimum spending requirement to reap the rewards. The last thing you want to do is spend extra money that you were not going to spend anyway, just to try to get this reward. Because then the reward is not free. You paid for it when you bought all this extra stuff just to meet the minimum spend. For example, if a company offers 50,000 bonus points if you spend $4,000 within the first 3 months of having the card open, and you know that you typically spend $1,500 a month just living your life, paying your utility bills, buying groceries, spending money on your kids, etc., then you know that you'll be able to meet that minimum spending requirement without having to make any extra purchases. Another way to meet the minimum spending requirements for some of these sign-up bonuses is to make a big purchase on a card that you were already going to make anyway. So for example, if you're planning on doing a home renovation project, you could open up a new credit card and then put all the supplies that you purchased for your reno project on that card. You were going to make those purchases anyway, and this is a big lump sum of money that you don't typically spend, so why not put it on this card and then get all this money back in rewards? So the most common type of point sign-up bonus, like I mentioned, is when they offer X amount of points for spending X amount of dollars in X amount of time. Although sometimes it's different. For example, I got the Discover It card back in October of 2019. That card offered a sign-up bonus of whatever points you earn over the course of a year, they will match those points at the end of the year. So basically, when your year is up, they'll double your points. This offer was only for new customers, so now that my year is up, I can still use the card and I can still earn points. However, Discover won't continue to match the points I earn. So as you can see, I earned a good chunk of money over the course of that year, and the section in green on that chart is where Discover matched my points at the end of the year. In total, I earned about $600 in points, and I was able to withdraw that $600 tax-free. And I used actually about $400 of that money to buy the phone that I'm filming this video on as we speak. Okay, so now that we've gone over sign-up bonuses, let's get into the points that you earn continuously by making purchases on the card. Some cards offer a really simple system for earning rewards, like the Capital One Quicksilver card offers 1.5% cash back on every single purchase you make. You can use that 1.5% cash back to pay off your credit card balance, to pay for things via PayPal. You can use them for Amazon purchases, or you can even use them to get a direct check right back into your checking account. This is the first credit card I ever actually opened, I think back when I was 19. So I've had it for quite a while and I've made several $100s using this card. So while the Capital One has this simple 1.5% cash back on everything, some cards like the Chase Freedom have these rotating rewards categories. So this card rotates categories every 3 months. So for the first quarter of 2021, which is January through March, you would earn 5% back at things like wholesale clubs, streaming services, cable, phone services, things like that. Cards like this are interesting because sometimes there are categories that I spend a lot of money in just on my regular day-to-day, and that's really great for earning rewards. And then there are categories like wholesale clubs that I never use. So sometimes they're great, sometimes they're, it's hit or miss. This card also offers 1% cash back on all other purchases, and it has some other little specific things like 4% back on Lyft rides, and there are other little perks in there too. You can sift through the rewards list on their website if you want to take a look at that. Okay, so we've gone over cards that have the simple 1.5% back on everything, cards that have rotating categories. Then there are cards like the Chase Freedom Unlimited that have these permanent categories at cash back percentages. So I believe they have 5% back on travel when booked through the Chase site, 3% back on dining, 3% back on drugstores, things like that. They also offer 1.5% cash back on all other purchases that don't fall into those specific categories. This card also has a lot of perks as well behind the scenes, like you can get Dash Pass which is something for DoorDash. You can scroll through the website for this one too to see like all the different perks and things that go along with this card. So all the cards I specifically mentioned in this video, I actually have and I use every day, and I've made hundreds of dollars with all of these cards. So I will leave a link to them in the description down below if you want to take a look and check them out, see if they're for you. So as I mentioned before, there are tons of cards out there, so it's important to do your own research to figure out what card best suits you and what's the best option for you. All right, that's all I have on this topic for now, but in the future I'll go into other things relating to credit, how you can improve your score, and how you can have your credit work in your favor. I also want to take a second to thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. If you could hit the like and subscribe button, that would be great. All right, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.